The massive observation deck of the Celestial Horizon Research Station hummed with tension. Hannah Park stood near the holographic display, her arms crossed and her expression a mixture of irritation and professional skepticism. Around her, the station's personnel moved with practiced efficiency, their movements synchronized like a well-oiled machine. Jay Kim approached, carrying a compact device that looked more like a portable coffee maker than a revolutionary shield generator. He wore a standard-issue gray jumpsuit, patched in a few places, evidence of countless hands-on repairs and modifications. His relaxed demeanor stood in sharp contrast to the high-stakes environment of the Deep Space Research Facility. Another experimental shield prototype? Hannah muttered, her eyes rolling dramatically. We've heard this story 100 times before. The station's massive windows revealed the breathtaking landscape of space, a canvas of deep indigo punctuated by distant star clusters and the occasional shimmer of asteroid fields. Robotic maintenance drones drifted outside, their silver bodies reflecting the starlight like mechanical fireflies. Jay simply smiled, a gesture that somehow managed to be both confident and slightly mischievous. "This isn't just another prototype," he said, setting the device on the holographic projection table. "This is something different." With a casual tap, the device projected a complex holographic model that made the entire research team pause. It wasn't a typical shield schematic. Instead, it looked like a living, breathing network, something between a biological system and advanced technology. "Biomimetic adaptive shielding," Jay explained, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. "We've studied how biological immune systems respond to threats. Our shield doesn't just block, it learns, adapts, and counteracts." Hannah couldn't help but feel a spark of professional curiosity, though she masked it with continued skepticism. The device looked almost organic, with pulsing neural-like connections that seemed to breathe and shift. A junior technician whispered to another, "Is he seriously suggesting a shield that thinks like a living organism?" The station's ambient temperature seemed to drop a few degrees as the implications sank in. Space exploration had always been about pushing boundaries, but this felt different. This felt like a genuine leap. Outside the observation deck, a distant asteroid belt churned with electromagnetic activity. Sensor arrays picked up strange energy signatures, remnants of unknown technological emissions that hinted at potential alien encounters. The galaxy was vast, mysterious, and filled with unexpected challenges. Jay continued his demonstration, showing how the shield could potentially absorb and redistribute energy from various weapon types. Plasma bursts, gravitational disruptors, quantum destabilizers. Each scenario was met with a dynamic, intelligent response. "Humans have always been adaptable," Jay said, a hint of pride in his voice. "We take inspiration from nature, from our own survival instincts. This shield is proof that innovation comes from understanding, not just raw technological power." Hannah watched the projection, her initial skepticism slowly giving way to genuine intrigue. The shield wasn't just a defensive mechanism, it was a living system that could potentially revolutionize space exploration and conflict resolution. A warning alarm suddenly blipped on the side console. Unknown energy signatures detected in Sector 7, near the outer research perimeter. The station's artificial intelligence began calculating potential threat scenarios, its quantum processors working at lightning speed. Jay's device seemed to pulse slightly, as if responding to the distant energy signature. Hannah noticed this, her eyebrow raising in genuine surprise. "Did your shield just react?" she asked, her professional skepticism momentarily forgotten. Before Jay could answer, the station's chief researcher entered, his augmented cybernetic eye scanning the holographic display. He looked tired, with the weathered expression of someone who had seen countless technological promises come and go. "Explain," he said simply, his tone neither impressed nor dismissive. As Jay began his detailed explanation, the vast emptiness of space continued its silent, magnificent dance outside the station's windows. A reminder that in this infinite cosmic arena, humanity's next great innovation could emerge from the most unexpected places. The demonstration was about to begin, and nobody, not even the most hardened skeptics, could predict what would happen next. End of Part 1. The silence of deep space shattered without warning. Massive energy signatures erupted from the quantum sensor arrays, painting the holographic displays with angry crimson warnings. Alien vessels, sleek, obsidian-like constructs with razor-sharp geometric designs, emerged from subspace, their weapon systems charging with an ominous blue-green glow. "Incoming unknown vessels," shouted the communication specialist, her fingers dancing across multiple holographic interfaces. "They're not responding to standard communication protocols." Jay's experimental shield device, which moments ago seemed like a theoretical concept, now hummed with an unexpectedly alive energy. Its surface shifted, tiny molecular structures rearranging themselves in complex patterns that defied traditional technological understanding. Hana watched in stunned silence as the first wave of alien energy weapons discharged. Typically, such an assault would obliterate standard planetary defenses within milliseconds. But something extraordinary happened. Jay's shield, a networked biomimetic system, didn't just block. It absorbed, transformed, adapted. The first plasma burst struck the shield's perimeter. Instead of causing destruction, the energy was captured, analyzed, and then redirected. It was like watching a living organism digest and neutralize a threat, transforming potential harm into something manageable. "Impossible," Hana whispered, her professional skepticism evaporating. The alien vessels, belonging to a species known as the Kuron Collective, seemed equally shocked. Their weapon systems, which had conquered hundreds of star systems, suddenly found themselves ineffective against this strange human technology. Robotic defense drones launched from the research station, their metallic bodies gleaming under the starlight. But they weren't the primary defense anymore. Jay's shield had become the primary protective mechanism, a living, breathing barrier that understood and countered threats in real time. "The shield is learning," Jay said calmly, his hands moving across a holographic control interface. "Each energy signature is being decoded, analyzed, and integrated into our defensive matrix." The Kuron vessels began changing tactics. They launched quantum disruptors, weapons designed to tear apart molecular structures. Typically, these would rip through conventional shielding like paper. Here, something different occurred. The shield didn't just resist, it started predicting. Microscopic adaptive algorithms within the shield structure began calculating potential attack trajectories. When the quantum disruptors approached, the shield's molecular structure subtly shifted, creating interference patterns that neutralized the incoming threat. "They're trying to understand our defense," the station's chief researcher remarked, his cybernetic eye scanning multiple data streams. "But our system is evolving faster than they can comprehend." Alien communication signals, complex mathematical exchanges, began flooding communication channels. The Kuron were attempting to understand, to analyze, to break down this unexpected human defense mechanism. Hana realized they were witnessing something revolutionary. This wasn't just a technological breakthrough, it was a fundamental reimagining of defensive strategies. Smaller Kuron fighter vessels began swarming, their attack formations complex and mathematically precise. Hundreds of energy weapons discharged simultaneously, a symphony of destructive potential that would typically overwhelm any known defense system. The shield responded. Tendrils of adaptive energy spread across the station's protective perimeter. Each incoming weapon was not just blocked but understood. The shield learned, reconfigured, and transformed the incoming destructive energy into something neutral. Weapon efficiency of attacking vessels decreased by 87.3%, announced the station's artificial intelligence, its tone almost sounding impressed. Jay looked at Hana, a small smile playing on his lips. The skepticism she had displayed earlier now seemed like a distant memory. They were witnessing something extraordinary, humanity's unexpected capacity for innovation. The battle continued, but it was no longer a traditional conflict. It was a complex dance of technological adaptation, with Jay's shield performing an intricate ballet of defense and transformation. Outside, against the Infi, The research laboratory buzzed with an electric intensity that felt almost tangible. Holographic. Displays flickered with complex data streams showing the intricate molecular behavior of Jay's revolutionary shield system. Researchers in white thermal suits moved around advanced scanning equipment, their expressions a mixture of excitement and disbelief. "It's not just a shield," Dr. Kim, the lead researcher, explained to a group of international scientific observers. "It's a living system that learns and adapts in real time." Microscopic cameras zoomed into the shield's molecular structure, revealing something unprecedented. The technology wasn't just absorbing energy, it was actively analyzing and reconstructing its own molecular matrix based on encountered threats. Each interaction became a learning experience, transforming the shield into something more sophisticated with every passing moment. Hannah watched as computational models demonstrated how the shield could predict and neutralize potential attacks before they even materialized. Alien weapon signatures that would typically require months of complex analysis were being decoded within milliseconds. A massive holographic projection showed the shield's adaptive journey. Where traditional defense systems would create static barriers, this technology was fluid, dynamic, almost alive. It moved like a living organism, shifting and changing its molecular structure faster than any known technological system. "We've essentially created a technological immune system," Jay explained, his fingers dancing across a quantum interface. "It doesn't just defend, it understands and evolves." Outside the research facility's reinforced windows, robotic maintenance, drones continued their silent patrol. Distant asteroid fields reflected starlight, creating a mesmerizing backdrop to humanity's latest technological breakthrough. The Kuron attack had revealed something extraordinary. Their most advanced weapons, which had conquered multiple star systems, were now rendered ineffective by a technology that seemed to breathe and think. Each energy burst was not just blocked, but comprehended, analyzed, and neutralized. Technological. Observers from various interstellar organizations watched in stunned silence. This wasn't just another defensive mechanism. This was a fundamental reimagining of how technology could interact with potential threats. "The implications are massive," whispered a representative from the Galactic Research Council. "We're looking at a technology that could revolutionize not just space defense, but our entire understanding of adaptive systems." Jay demonstrated how the shield could reconstruct itself. When subjected to different energy signatures, plasma, bursts, quantum disruptions, gravitational waves, the shield didn't just resist. It learned, adapted, transformed. Computational models showed complex scenarios. An incoming weapon would approach, and instead of creating a traditional energy barrier, the shield would subtly modify its molecular structure. It would absorb the weapon's energy, understand its composition, and then redirect that energy in a completely neutralized form. "Biological inspiration meets technological innovation," Jay explained. "We studied how human immune systems respond to threats and translated those principles into technological design." The research facility felt like a crucible of human potential. Young scientists watched with wide-eyed wonder, understanding they were witnessing something that would be remembered in technological history. Hannah, who had once been the most significant skeptic, now stood with a look of pure amazement. Her previous doubts had transformed into genuine respect for human innovation. Distant communication channels picked up transmissions from the Kuron Collective. Their messages suggested confusion, almost fear. A technological species that had conquered hundreds of star systems was now confronting something they couldn't comprehend: human adaptability. "We're not just defending," Jay said quietly. "We're communicating through technology, showing that defense can be intelligent, adaptive, alive." The shield continued its silent, extraordinary dance. Molecular structures shifting, learning, evolving, a testament to human creativity and our species' remarkable capacity for innovation. As starlight filtered through, the vast emptiness of deep space erupted with unprecedented violence. Kuron battle formations, massive crystalline warships that had decimated entire civilizations, converged around the human research station. their weapon signatures charged with enough destructive potential to obliterate entire planetary systems. "Final. Assault incoming," announced the station's AI, its synthetic voice surprisingly calm. Jay's fingers moved with surgical precision across the quantum interface. The shield generator, no longer just a device but a living technological organism, began to pulse with an almost organic rhythm. Molecular structures within its core started realigning, preparing for the most complex defensive challenge in human technological history. Hana watched the holographic displays, her breath caught in her throat. Hundreds of Kuron vessels surrounded them, their weapon systems creating a terrifying web of destructive energy. Traditional defense mechanisms would have surrendered milliseconds after the first strike. But this was different. The first wave of quantum disruption weapons struck. Normally, such an assault would tear through conventional shielding like tissue paper. Here, something extraordinary happened. The shield didn't just resist, it transformed. Microscopic adaptive algorithms began processing the incoming energy signatures. Each weapon's unique frequency was captured, understood, and then neutralized. It was like watching an intelligent immune system respond to an unprecedented viral invasion. Weapon absorption rate, 92.7%, the station's AI reported. Energy redirection at maximum efficiency. Robotic defense drones launched from the station's external bays, their metallic bodies gleaming under the starlight. But they weren't the primary defense anymore. Jay's shield had become a living, breathing barrier that understood and countered threats in real time. The Kuron vessels began changing tactics. They launched multiple attack waves simultaneously, a strategy that had conquered thousands of star systems, plasma bursts, gravitational disruptors, quantum entanglement weapons, a symphony of destruction designed to overwhelm any known defense. The shield responded. Tendrils of adaptive energy spread across the station's protective perimeter. Incoming weapons were not just blocked but comprehended. The shield learned, reconfigured, and transformed destructive energy into something neutral. "They're trying to break through our computational limits," Jay muttered, his eyes tracking multiple holographic data streams. "But they don't understand. Our system doesn't have traditional limits." Alien communication signals flooded communication channels. The Kuron were attempting to understand, to analyze, to break down this unexpected human defense mechanism. Their computational networks worked over time, trying to find a weakness, but they found none. The shield wasn't just defending, it was learning, evolving with each millisecond of interaction. Where traditional technologies would create static barriers, this system was fluid, dynamic, almost alive. Massive energy bursts that should have atomized the entire research station were captured, analyzed, and redirected. The Kuron vessels began, experiencing strange system failures, their most advanced weapons turning against their own computational matrices. "Technological symbiosis," Hana whispered, watching the extraordinary dance of defense and adaptation. Smaller Kuron fighter squadrons attempted breakthrough maneuvers. Complex attack formations that had conquered entire star systems now found themselves neutralized by a technology they couldn't comprehend. The shield responded like a living organism. It predicted attack trajectories, modified its molecular structure, and created interference patterns that rendered incoming weapons ineffective. Each attack became a learning experience, each threat an opportunity for adaptation. Outside the station's reinforced windows, the battle continued, a silent, magnificent dance of technological evolution. Starlight reflected off alien vessel, hulls creating a mesmerizing backdrop to humanity's most extraordinary defensive performance. "We're not just defending," Jay said quietly, his eyes reflecting the holographic displays. "We're demonstrating that human innovation knows no boundaries." The Kuron assault continued, but with each passing moment their chances of breakthrough diminished. They were confronting something beyond traditional technological understanding, human creativity, adaptability, and an unprecedented capacity for innovation. As computational systems, our 9 months had passed since the extraordinary confrontation with the Kuron collective. The research station had transformed into a global symbol of human technological innovation, attracting scientists, diplomats, and technological experts from across the known galaxy. The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with anticipation. Representatives from hundreds of star systems gathered, their diverse appearances reflecting the incredible complexity of interstellar civilization. Holographic displays flickered with complex data streams, showing the evolution of Jay's revolutionary shield technology. Hannah Park stood at the center of the massive circular chamber, her presentation about to change everything humanity understood about defensive technologies. The walls were lined with delegates from species that had once viewed humans as technological novices. Now they listened with unprecedented attention. "What we discovered wasn't just a shield," Hannah began, her voice steady and confident. "It was a living technological ecosystem that fundamentally reimagines how we understand defense, adaptation, and survival." Behind her, massive screens displayed the shield's molecular journey. Each interaction with the Kuron weapons had been meticulously recorded, showing how the technology learned and evolved with extraordinary speed. The Galactic Council's senior representatives leaned forward. Beings with multiple eyes, crystalline communication interfaces, and advanced neural networks watched with collective fascination. Humanity, once considered a young and somewhat unpredictable species, was now presenting something revolutionary. Jay sat in the observation section, watching Hannah's presentation with a subtle smile. Their collaborative journey from skepticism to breakthrough had become a testament to human potential. "Our shield doesn't just block," Hannah continued. "It understands, it learns. It transforms potential threats into opportunities for growth and understanding." Holographic models demonstrated how the shield's molecular structure could adapt to different energy signatures faster than any known technological system. Where traditional defenses created static barriers, this technology moved like a living organism, fluid, dynamic, intelligent. Representatives from the Quantum Research Consortium began asking detailed questions. Each query was met with precise, comprehensive answers that revealed the depth of human innovation. The Kuron Collective, once considered an unbeatable technological force, had been fundamentally challenged. Their most advanced weapons had been not just neutralized but comprehended and transformed by a technology they couldn't understand. "We didn't just create a defensive mechanism," Jay explained during the follow-up technical discussion. "We created a technological immune system inspired by biological adaptation." Robotic assistants moved silently through the chamber, distributing detailed technical reports. Each document represented months of research, countless computational hours, and a breakthrough that would reshape interstellar technological understanding. The presentation wasn't just about technological achievement. It was a demonstration of human creativity, adaptability, and our unique capacity to find innovative solutions to complex challenges. Delegates from various star systems began discussing potential collaborative research. The shield technology wasn't just a human achievement, it represented a new approach to understanding technological evolution. "This changes everything," muttered a senior representative from the Quantum Exploration Council. "Humanity has just redefined our understanding of technological defense." As the presentation concluded, something extraordinary happened. Delegates from species that had previously viewed humans with skepticism now looked with genuine respect. The room filled with a collective sense of wonder and possibility. Hannah caught Jay's eye across the massive chamber. Their journey from initial skepticism to global recognition was complete. What had started as an experimental shield project had transformed into a fundamental reimagining of technological potential. Outside the council chambers, robotic maintenance drones continued their silent patrol. Distant star systems twinkled, seemingly celebrating humanity's latest extraordinary achievement. The shield technology represented more than a defensive mechanism. It was a symbol of human potential, our ability to learn, adapt, and transform challenges into opportunities. As the Galactic Council adjourned, one thing became crystal clear. Humanity's journey of innovation was just beginning. End of Part 5. Eached. Their breaking point, one thing became crystal clear. This was more than a battle. This was a demonstration of humanity's extraordinary potential. End of Part 4. The research facility's windows, It illuminated more than just advanced technology. It highlighted humanity's endless potential to reimagine the impossible. End of Part 3, Night Canvas of Space. Human ingenuity was rewriting the rules of interstellar conflict. End of Part 2.